Fights in anime follow a similar pattern. Start slow and escalate to better moves. Keeping your best move a secret has been a technique that is used very often in anime. However, these anime take that to a whole nother level. Welcome to DoubleDollars, and today we will be listing the top 10 anime where the main character is OP but hides it.
養ってください。俺絶対に働きたくないんです。
そうは摂理の円環へと帰還せよ。ごそはごそに将と断りを紡ぐ縁日は帰りせよ。
Before we begin, don't forget to drop a like, and if you want more anime top 10s like this one, then make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with my uploads. I try to avoid as many spoilers as possible, and my lists don't follow any particular order. With that aside, let's get right into the video.
超能力者としての基礎値の段階であなたたちとは格が違うんですよ。
Starting it off at number 10, Claymore. When a shape-shifting demon with a thirst for human flesh arrives, in Naki's village, a lone woman called Claire walks into town with only a sword upon her back. She is a Claymore, a being manufactured as half human and half Yoma, for the sole purpose of exterminating these monsters. Naki is soon saved by Claire, but is subsequently banished from his home. With nowhere else to go, Naki follows her on her journey of exterminating Yoma. During her adventure, more about Claire is brought to light and her organization. This anime is fairly real, and is not afraid to show the dark sides of humans. The way the anime builds Claire up is very real, as she doesn't always have good days. There are the days that suck for her, and you can see it affect her. If you want a real, down-to-earth anime about revenge, then I recommend this one. Number 9, Daily Life of an Immortal Fairy King.
Hey.
As a cultivation genius who has achieved a new realm every 2 years since he was a year old, Wang Ling is a near invincible existence with prowess far beyond his control. When he was a child, he managed to prevent a calamity, and now that he's 16, he faces his greatest battle yet, senior high school. His goal of staying out of the spotlight for his last year seems to be getting farther and farther away, as challenges keep popping up that he has to take care of. This is a Chinese anime, otherwise known as a donghua, and I know that alone may put this anime off the radar of many people. But if you can handle the Chinese dub, then this is a great one to watch. Number 8, The Irregular at Magic High School. In first high school, students are segregated into 2 groups based on their entrance exams. Blooms, those who receive high scores and are assigned to the first course, while Weeds are reserve students assigned to the second course. We follow the siblings Tatsuya and Miyuki Shiba, who enrolled in first high school. Upon taking the exam, the prodigious Miyuki is placed in the first course, while Tatsuya is relegated to the second course. Though his practical test scores and status as a weed show him to be magically inept, he possesses extraordinary technical knowledge, physical capabilities, and unique magic technique, making Tatsuya the Irregular at Magic High School. This anime is pretty good story-wise, and the power system doesn't seem too broken, but still makes Tatsuya feel extremely strong. If you want a kick-ass main character who has a pretty cold expression, then this one is a great watch. Number 7, Noragami.
起きろやとがみ、雪音が欲しい。 そのためならいくらでも出す。
Hiyori Ikki was a normal middle school student until she was involved in a bus accident while trying to protect a stranger. This incident causes her soul to frequently slip out of her body, and she becomes aware of the existence of two parallel worlds: the near shore, where regular humans and creatures reside, and the far shore, where demons and human souls linger. She soon meets Yato, the stranger she saved and a shrineless god with a very mysterious past. Wanting to make a name for himself, Yato is willing to grant any wish for just 5 yen, including Hiyori's wish to revert her body back to normal. The two eventually meet a kid named Yukine, a regalia which is a weapon formed with a person's soul that has passed away and is renamed by the wielder. Throughout the anime, we follow the three through their crazy mission and funny antics, and eventually we see that Yato's past may not be as happy-go-lucky as he may seem. This anime is great at blending in heavy-hitting moments with great comedy, which takes you on a roller coaster of emotions as you follow the trio and their journey.
始めたら楽しくなっちゃってうっかり徹夜まで。へえ。よかったな。欲しがってたお社だぞ。これでちょっとは元気に。
Number 6. Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy.
気遣って加減をしていたのか。
Makoto Misumi finds himself sent to another world to meet the goddess and become the hero. However, God believes that Makoto is really ugly and refuses to even lay eyes upon him and revokes his heroic title, disdainfully giving him the ability to understand all languages except the human language as compensation. The goddess drives Makoto off to the farthest edges of the wasteland, far from any human civilization. Makoto's inherent physical and magical capabilities soon awaken, giving him immense power without him realizing it. On his journey, he meets various demi-humans, mythical beings, and dragons who all end up being captivated by his characteristics and join Makoto in building a new community where they can all live peacefully. Despite this, he still yearns to meet other humans and thus begins his journey to defy the goddess's will. This anime is a fairly new one, so if you don't regularly watch seasonal animes, then you may have missed this one. The plot is great and the characters don't feel too broken, as everything else is also just as busted. If you really want a funny comedy anime, then this is a great watch.
Oh, いました。
Number 5. Akashic Records of a Bastard Magic Instructor. The Alazano Empire is home to one of the most distinguished magic schools in the world. Here, ambitious young students undergo training to become magicians. We follow Sistine Feeble and her bright-eyed best friend, Lumia Tingle, as they go through their day-to-day life in the academy. Soon their daily life is thrown into chaos when their favorite teacher suddenly retires and the carefree Glenn Raiders replaces him. His lazy and indifferent attitude towards life and magic quickly puts him at odds with his class, who looked up to magic like it was something holy that you needed to know. With the arrival of the new teacher, multiple events occur that show us that Glenn just might not be as listless as he may seem. This anime is a really good watch if you want a more fantastical anime with a subtle school element. As the story progresses, we see more of each character's background and their circumstances, which make each character even more than just another magician.
養ってください。俺絶対に働きたくないんです。
蘇は摂理の円環へと帰還せよ。誤差は誤差に小と断りを紡ぐ縁日は帰りせよ。
Number 4. Rurouni Kenshin.
This too seriously! If you wish to use a thrusting technique against me, then use an attack that surpasses Saito's Gatotsu.
In the Bakumatsu era existed a legendary assassin known as Hitokiri Battosai. People feared him as a merciless killer and was unmatched throughout the country. But for reasons unknown to the public, he mysteriously disappeared at the peak of the Japanese Revolution. It's been 10 peaceful years since then, but the very mention of Battosai still strikes terror into the hearts of war veterans. Basically, he was the Voldemort of Japan. Little did people know that Battosai abandoned his bloodstained lifestyle in an effort to repent for his sins. Vowing to never kill again, he takes up the name Kenshin and dedicates himself to protecting the weak. During his travels, he stumbles across Kaoru Kamiya, who is being threatened by an imposter claiming to be Battosai. After receiving help from Kenshin, Kaoru allows him to stay at the dojo, and so the former assassin temporarily ceases his travels. This anime is a legendary anime to the older generation, and most people will, unfortunately, pass this one up because of that. If you don't mind the old art style, then this is a must watch to anyone who hasn't seen it.
Can you feel what makes me boil? Can you feel it?
Number 3, the devil is a part-timer.
Suck on this! Oh, Lucy.
We follow the demon lord Satan as he begins to conquer the land with his vast demon armies. However, while embarking on this brutal quest to take over the continent, his efforts are foiled by the hero, forcing Satan to make his swift retreat through a dimensional portal, only to land in the human world. To his surprise, the portal takes him to modern-day Tokyo, and the two seem to be helpless in this foreign world. Powerless in a world without magic, Satan assumes the guise of a human named Sadao Mao, and begins working at lawsuit-free McDonald's to make ends meet. He soon realizes that his goal of conquering his old world is just not enough, as he grows determined to climb the corporate ladder and become the ruler of Earth, one satisfied customer at a time. This anime is a comedic masterpiece. The mundane things we find in society always seem to fascinate the two who have never heard of these things, and that alone is really refreshing to watch. With the release of Season 2 coming soon, catching back up on the story might be a good idea. Number 2, Mob Psycho 100.
者としての基礎値の段階であなたたちとは格が違うんですよ
This anime follows the daily exploits of the 8th grader Mob. Due to being a powerful Esper, Mob decides from a young age to suppress his emotions so that his abilities don't run wild. Due to the limiter that Mob forced upon himself, he can only now handle so much of one emotion before it hits 100%. Once that happens, he gains an enormous power boost, activating his dormant abilities. To understand more of his power and to prevent his rampages, Mob works as an assistant for Arataka Reigin, a con artist claiming to be a psychic who exploits Mob's powers for pocket change. This anime is amazing. The animation is top-notch and the plot is never slow. The character development progresses at a decent pace and the comedic relief comes in at the perfect time. If you want a funny yet serious anime with stunning eye candy, then this is one you need to watch if you haven't already seen it. Number 1, Trigun.
So you're the one who's been getting in my way a little bit at a time.
What? A little bit at a time? I thought I tried harder than that. Sorry, but the road's closed this way.
We follow Vash the Stampede, a blonde, spiky-haired man with a $60 billion DoubleDollar bounty on his head. The reason why he has such a high bounty on his head is that he has said to lay waste to all those that oppose him and flatten entire cities just for fun. giving him the nickname the Humanoid Typhoon. However, in reality, he's a soft-hearted man that can't take the life of another person no matter what they have done. During his travels, two insurance agents, Meryl Strife and Millie Thompson, are tasked to tail Vash in an attempt to keep his acts of violence in check. However, as they find out more about his past, the deeper in trouble they get, as Vash may not be as simple as he may seem. Even though this anime is fairly old, the plot and characters are unique with an extremely well thought out premise that has a deeper meaning than most people expect. This is also another anime that I recommend watching in English dub, as Vash's laugh is one of the most iconic laughs I've heard.
Well, did I work off the donuts and the $10 $dollars?
And that's the list. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and like always, if you like this list then make sure to hit the like, and if you're feeling a little spicy then consider subscribing. If you watched till the end, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.